The biggest hurdle to social and economic advancement is housing inequality. Housing inequality is the disconnect between areas of opportunity and concentrations of low income and minority residents. Nationwide and regionally, there are disproportionate shares of minorities and people with disabilities in low-income housing. Luzerne and Lackawanna counties have typically seen above-average housing affordability. Regional renters and homeowners all pay a lower monthly cost than the state and nation on average. Generally, when rent reaches above 30% of an individual's income, housing is deemed unaffordable. Over 30,000 people in Lackawanna and Luzerne counties pay more than 30% of their income in rent costs, and around 35% pay 35% of their income or more. Data from Zillow Economic Research from 2016 to 2017 indicates that the Black population living in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area would be able to afford less than 10% of the rental listings in the local market. In comparison, the white population would be able to afford 89.5% of the rentals. Rates of homelessness also illustrate disparities between white and minority populations. In the region, there are nearly 20% more Black homeless than the overall population. Risk factors for homelessness in the region outpace statewide averages and national averages. In the two-county region, 15.3% of the population lives below the poverty line, whereas in the U.S., 12.3% live below the poverty line. And in Pennsylvania, only 12% live below the poverty line. Practices such as housing discrimination, tenant screening, and restrictive building codes further prohibit the development of affordable housing. What can be done to combat housing inequity? Some of the barriers are deeply rooted in social, economic, or financial systems, but some, such as loosening tenant screening policies for public housing and adopting inclusionary practices in local planning and zoning ordinances, may be effectively addressed with policy changes. Additionally, the region needs more affordable housing options. We are currently experiencing a shortage of housing at various price points. To make informed decisions, stakeholders can invest in additional research on policy responses to housing inequities, with consideration of causes and solutions at the local, state, and federal levels. Stakeholders can also help fund resources to help households with financial difficulties, such as adverse credit scores, lack of funds for a security deposit, or households on the verge of losing benefits because of a small increase in income.